And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one, the only Baby Moy, and alongside I've got Big Ness here in the building. Welcome all. As you know, it's Casual Tuesday, and we're bringing you another episode of something we like to call Casual Tuesday.
Casual Tuesday. What's up, y'all? What's happening? Happy October, folks. You already know. New month.
Happy new month.
Beginning,
Happy new
chapter.
week.
Happy new month. New week, yeah.
Happy new Tuesday. Happy new
That's
episode
right,
of
y'all.
Endless Possibilities here on ENT Hooligans. And
right.
as
That's
you
right.
guys may or may not notice, I hope you do notice, our other host isn't here with us at the moment, but she will be here soon. I believe she's getting something from the shop. Has to replenish herself, I guess. So,
Yeah, she'll be here soon. Don't worry, y'all. Everybody's in the building, y'all. The whole crew is here. So don't worry.
that's right. But today, we figured we'd take it a little bit easy. You know what I'm saying? A little bit easy.
Yeah.
Kick back, relax.
Yeah.
You know what the description reads on here? It says, grab your phone, don't be alone.
Grab your phone and don't be alone. That's right.
I feel like I should be listening to a very bad. I feel like I should be listening to a very bad Backstreet Boys song right now.
Okay, first of all, Backstreet Boys didn't sing like that.
Tell me why.
Not like that.
No. Second of all, yeah, what Ness and I did, that was soulful. That was joy for the soul.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. But with that said,
That's what we do.
let's play a little music. Oh, boy. Let's play a little music.
Let's roll.
Don't do that.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Thank you. Let's play a little music, and we will be with you. One moment. Mute switch.
Let me check this spot. All right, fellas, let me check this spot. 1, 2.
And no intro like this would be perfect without my shuffle. Turn the game down now.
We even got a snap with that too.
There we go.
I see.
Welcome, ladies
I
and
like that.
gentlemen. Welcome
All
all, welcome. As I said before, for those who are just tuning in, I am your host, Baby Moy, and alongside now we got the whole house. We got Crystal and Big Ness here in the building, live, ready to do this thing on something we call Casual Tuesday. I know for those who tuned in before, you already heard this, so you're probably looking at me like, bro, why are you repeating yourself? Well, it's courtesy, folks. We've really gotten the show on the way now that we got the music in the background. So with that said, folks, if you guys want to know more in terms of how you could follow us, how you could stalk us, how you could be annoying, how you could be a pain in the here is Crystal and or Ness to tell you guys how y'all can do this. Please take it away, y'all.
All right. You guys can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. The links are in the description below. And of course, here on YouTube, you could like us, subscribe, thumbs up, ring that bell for all notifications. Not some, all. so that you could be in the loop every time we're on, folks.
Right on, right on. So,
give me the loop, give me the loop. Oh, sorry, he didn't say loop, he said loop, right?
yes.
Sorry.
Not loop.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah, my bad. Oh, I'm sorry. I think I was getting my biggie on. Sorry.
So,
all right.
So for those watching us, go ahead. No, nothing.
No.
You weren't gonna say something? I heard a few.
Oh, wait.
Hey, from Ness.
Wait a minute. Thank you for
Go ahead.
providing these lovely fudge rounds, boss man. I appreciate it.
By the way, do we want to send any shout outs before we get things underway? Anybody? Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times?
Shout out to our new subscribers. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope that you like our content.
Absolutely.
Hey, and of course, shout out to both Anthony and Tony.
What up?
What's going on, guys? So, I encourage all you guys, new subscribers and previous subscribers, please stick around for this show. It's going to be informational. It's going to be fun. And even though this might apply to a certain group, I encourage all to stay, please, because we can all learn something from this podcast. As today, we will be discussing personal experiences using different platforms, such as Android versus iOS. Well, actually, I shouldn't even say such as, because that is going to be the main focal point of today's podcast. But why do I say that this targets a specific group? Well, we're going to be focusing on accessibility, personal experience using both, and what we recommend overall. So, with that said, I want to give the floor to Crystal.
Okay. Well, give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my Dr. Pepper.
That's all
right. Accessibility. It means different things to different people. For me personally, it means using screen readers such as VoiceOver, TalkBack, and or Samsung's own Voice Assist.
Correct.
Now, with this podcast, we're going to express our opinions and which platform we use. Not by any means, the one we think that you should use, because everybody's needs are different. So, with that, I will go first. Is it okay, guys?
Well, I gave you the floor.
Okay. I have used iOS for a number of years, and I loved iOS for a long time. I was never one of those people that would say, oh, Android is horrible, and I'm never going to go to Android, ever, 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 ever. I kept an open mind.
Yes.
And I'm very glad I did that, because I found myself last year switching to an Android device, and I loved the experience. I switched back to an iOS device due to a financial reason. So now I'm back with iOS, but here's my experience with Android. I used the Samsung Galaxy S8. I loved it for what it was. It was wonderful. I loved the fact that it had its own screen reader, and I did not have to use TalkBack. I downloaded TalkBack, however, to see what the differences were between Samsung's own Voice Assist and Android's TalkBack. Here's what my experience was like. TalkBack, you have to draw shapes. For a lot of blind people, and I'm not saying all, because I don't know everybody's situation, but
right.
For a lot of blind people, it's very difficult to know what a shape looks like.
Right, because of the
head.
visual concept.
Yes. And to map it out.
Yes.
So, I tried drawing, for example, a square. I don't know what a triangle looks like, so I can't draw a triangle. I know what one feels like if somebody handed one to me.
So
but visually,
go ahead.
I can't map it out.
So to elaborate on that, folks, basically what it is, TalkBack allows, all these screen readers allow blind folks to pretty much engage with their phones and use their phones. The phone basically gives them feedback as towards what text is being related to them via the screen. So, you toggle left, right, sometimes vertically as well. And the phone, like I said, it will basically relate to the user what's being displayed on the screen at the moment. This includes keyboard usability and app usability, browsing via Safari or Google Chrome or whatever engine you use, so forth and so on. Now, going back to the whole talkback thing, basically, in order to toggle between various options, such as what you iPhone users would call app switching, or toggling between edit features such as copy, paste, select, if you want to access other options such as go back or go to the home screen, you'd have to draw on your screen right angles. So left up, left down, right up, right down, down right, so on and so forth. And for a lot of people who are totally blind especially, and I'm not trying to insult anyone here, but it's hard for certain people to really map out a mental picture of what these things look like. And I will say, it's even hard for people who have vision to draw straight sometimes. So, and that's another thing. With TalkBack, you have to be precise. You cannot be at the slightest off at
Correct.
all. Or else it'll
Right.
give you a completely different command than what you're asking for.
Yes, that is correct. So my experience with TalkBack wasn't that great, simply because of that reason. I also had an LG tablet that I quickly sent back that used TalkBack. I didn't like it. So then I switched to the Samsung Voice Assist, and I absolutely loved it. With Voice Assist, you don't need to draw anything. You don't have to be precise or anything like that. And I absolutely loved it. The reason why I love Voice Assist, and this goes back to the actual Android platform itself. Even people that can see will say this about it, but you can customize everything with the Android platform. You can also do that with your screen reader as well. For example, you can use different voices. You can...
Well, not so much voices. You can use different interfaces.
Different
you can use Google.
Yeah, that's
you
it.
can use Google Screen Reader, Samsung's, or you can use Eloquence. For those
or any other...
For those who aren't in this circle, those are basically different types of screen readers that one can access.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
And
correct.
that's great.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And so, like I said, my experience with Android using Voice Assist was wonderful. I loved it, and I miss it a lot due to the customization of it. Now, that was my experience. Now my experience with iOS, I do have a tablet, I have an iPad, and I like using my iPad. VoiceOver is great. VoiceOver, which is Apple's, for those of you who don't know, everything that you get with Apple can speak, whether you have a Mac, doesn't matter what type of Mac it is. You can have a MacBook Pro or an iMac.
Correct.
If you have an Apple TV, an iPhone or an iPad, they all have what is called VoiceOver. VoiceOver is another screen reader. That's the only screen reader that you can get with the Apple platform. And I have no issue with that whatsoever. But I do miss the customization of the Samsung Voice Assist. So that was my experience, like I said, with
Well,
Android.
customization isn't necessarily, in my opinion, isn't necessarily a focal point when it comes to screen readers. customization to me hits more home when you talk about features that the actual phone contains. That's where accessibility comes home to me. In terms of customizing screen readers, that isn't so much and at least for me personally, it isn't something that I harp on. I like the fact that now going to the actual OS itself, veering off from screen readers here a little bit. In terms of the OS, my personal experience, I find that Android is for people who are very technologically savvy and to some degree advanced. For those who prefer a more simple approach, just do it out of the box, can use it, iOS is the way to go, definitely. And I could even say the same for their screen readers. There's a lot of things in terms of iOS's screen reader, which, having used both platforms, me owning personally an Android phone and an Apple tablet, I can tell you from experience that there are things that I like about one and there are things that I like about the other, and I also have gripes with both of them. I believe that in the end, it does come down to personal choice and what you need at the moment. I want you guys to really, really focus on that part of what I just said. What you need at the moment. Okay? Here's the thing. When it comes to VoiceOver versus Voice Assist, they both pretty much work similarly, to where you can toggle between different options, different text by scrolling from left to right or right to left, whatever you prefer to do. When it comes to switching, however, toggling between settings such as screen curtain, which allows you to hide the screen from anyone who might be peeping over your shoulders to see what you're writing. Turn on other functions such as speech rate, speech volume, punctuation, reading through words, characters, lines, paragraphs. They both have a different approach. The Android platform, or in this case Samsung's platform with Voice Assist, allows you to toggle between these options by swiping 3 fingers to the left, to the right, or vertically, whereas on iOS they use what's called a rotor, which basically, think of it as
you're rotating.
It's not so much pinching your fingers. It's more rotating 2 fingers on the screen, clock or counterclockwise. So that allows you to toggle again between words, lines, characters, paragraphs, sentences, headings, tables,
links.
And that's another thing I've noticed. Now, the rotor has a lot more options than what Voice Assist gives you in that department.
Yeah.
At least I've noticed that.
Yeah. And you can even customize it as well. The rotor with VoiceOver.
Yeah.
You can tell it what you want it to hide when you go into the VoiceOver settings. You can tell it what you want it to hide and what you don't want.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And with Voice Assist, you can't do that, I believe, right?
Right, which hints why I said customizing applies more to the UI than screen reader accessibility.
Right.
Now, here's another thing I want to really, really, really focus on is handling of apps and handling of certain aspects that coordinate with the system UI. So, personally for me, most apps on Android work. Most apps on iOS work. Now, I know there's a lot of people who are Facebook heavy, who use Facebook on a daily. I'm one of them, but I'm not on Facebook like that. My use of Facebook is very minimum compared to when I first started my venture on Facebook. All that said, I find that iOS's Facebook is a lot cleaner, whereas Android, and not that Android isn't usable, it is. I mean, I wouldn't be on it if I couldn't use it, but I find that it has the same layout as if you were to access Facebook, say, through Safari or through Google Chrome or, Microsoft Edge or any other browsing engine. So it could kind of be overwhelming in terms of it being somewhat clunky, I could say, or a cluster, you know what? So,
yeah.
iOS just, again, it just does it solution, That said, though, in terms of, and I know I keep toggling between accessibility and UI, but it all goes in tandem, folks. Okay. In terms of in terms of the UI, sticking with UI here, when it comes to, say, focusing and keeping a hold on things, and you'll get what I mean. For me, when it comes to the keyboard.
Oh boy.
Oh, the keyboard.
Let's talk the keyboard.
Now, I am a touchscreen user, very heavy on that, and
yes,
my colleagues here could testify to that.
I am too.
And when I was on the iPhone, now they've heard me text on that thing, and it's more or less.
Oh yeah,
to the point where you can't even hear what letters I'm typing. Okay.
No, I'm like, geez, I wish I could type that fast.
And it's precise.
All we heard was.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm a touchscreen keyboardist myself, so I can't type as fast as he can. Yeah. But all this to say, the keyboard on iOS is much better, and I will let my colleague tell you why.
Oh no, I'll let you take it from there. You've had fun watching me type on both. So
yes.
I'm gonna let you from outside. And I would give you guys my personal views, but I think it's more fun when somebody on the outside kind of ribs at you a little bit. So I'm gonna let her take over.
Ha ha ha! You can't type on the Android keyboard. You can't type on the Android keyboard.
Oh,
you said.
Wait a minute.
Oh, you said.
Will you just go on with the show?
Wait a minute. You've got a touchscreen heavy keyboardist who can't use this touchscreen keyboard? Wait a minute.
On Android.
What's wrong with this picture?
On Android, not iOS. Okay.
I struggle with Android, bruh.
Yeah.
Bad.
I hear you.
It's not even funny. So the keyboard on iOS is the letters are spaced out, so you don't feel like you're claustrophobic. I see what you're doing over there.
Go ahead, keep talking.
I see you.
Ignore me.
I see you. All right, I'm ignoring you now. Okay, so will you stop it? Okay,
I'm typing on my keyboard.
Woo!
I see. Yeah, but he was over there knocking. Okay, so
go ahead.
Fuck you guys. This is what I put up with on the daily, y'all.
This is catchy though.
This is catchy.
It is. Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah. Very nice.
Go ahead.
Okay, so as I was saying, the keyboard, the lettering of the keyboard on iOS is much more spaced out than the keyboard on the Android phone. So if you type as fast as my colleague Mo does on iOS, and you try to type as fast as he does on Samsung/Android platform, he can't do it.
Nah. I end up hitting multiple letters at once.
It'll take him a minute. Yeah, it'll take him 1 minute to write a simple text message with maybe like 2 or 3 words.
Oh, you see that?
no, this isn't me trying to like poke fun of him or anything. I've seen it, and it's horrible. He's like, no, I typed it you, not an O. You know.
And here's the thing. Now, I could easily just say, I'm going to dictate what I want to say, but I'm not so much a person who relies on dictation, all like that. So,
Yeah, likewise.
but with that
that
said, for you guys who are heavy on dictation, listen, I'm going to give you this much. Android's Google dictation is
Perfect.
absolutely perfect.
Spot on.
Oh, yeah, and
Crazy
and
good
for-
how it works. And you
for
could
those
toggle
of you
between
guys-
English and Spanish
Yeah, I was just gonna say, for those of you guys that are bilingual, you can toggle.
and other languages. Matter of fact, not just English and Spanish.
is
English,
great.
Spanish, French, Italian, German, a whole bunch of different languages that you can choose from. And if you
Portuguese.
speak in set languages, exactly. If you speak in set languages, it'll pick it up and it'll write it for you. An ability
That's
that
amazing.
dictation
That is
on
amazing,
Apple
yeah.
doesn't have, at least to my knowledge,
No.
it doesn't.
No,
No,
not at
no.
all. It doesn't.
So in that
doesn't.
department, yeah, Android takes it all the way. But in terms of keyboard usability, which I'm a heavy on-screen keyboard user, it just
iOS
doesn't work
all day,
for
yeah.
me. So iOS all the way.
No,
Now,
iOS
Ness
all
has a
day.
different keyboard experience, as he's not an on-screen keyboard user. He's more an external. But I'll let him take the floor and explain
Yes.
and tell you guys what his experience has been with both platforms. Take it away, Ness. We haven't heard
yeah,
from you
I
much
wanna
on
hear
this
this.
podcast, so go ahead, big
Yeah,
man.
I want to hear this. I want to hear your experience.
All right. Well, I've been an iOS user since 2013, and I've always been keyboard oriented, from playing the keyboard instrument to using keyboards on an old Braille writer to Braille notes, Braille lights. I had no interest in learning how to use an on-screen touchscreen keyboard, so I went out and got me a Bluetooth keyboard. And for me, that worked out perfectly. Yeah. When it comes to... And the usability of iOS, I have no problem with it. I find it fairly easy and accessible to use. I just recently got me an Android device. Android phone. And I'm still getting the hang of it. But I don't really see much of a difference. I mean, there's some differences, but for the most part, it's fairly similar as far as the accessibility, the screen reader use and everything. The gestures are fairly similar.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'm okay with it. It's, yeah.
Now, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What OS do you personally prefer to use?
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one. Right now, probably iOS.
Okay.
I would have
Reasons.
gotten an
You-
Android
you-
earlier. My reasons for not getting an Android until now was before. My biggest complaint with Android before now was there were too many different platforms. Whereas Apple, everything is all on one platform. It's not just, you know, this phone is on this platform, that phone is on the other platform. But now they finally got all that together, so I'm good to go now, yeah. And I'm still getting the hang of this Samsung device right now, yeah.
What are your reasoning? What's your reasoning when you say iOS is your preferred at the moment? Your preferred choice of OS. What's your reasoning for that?
Well, right now I'm used to iOS. I'm still getting used to Android.
Right, and that is a point I am going to stress. Is
Yes.
again, this really coincides with just iOS as a whole. Just not even looking at accessibility right now. Just iOS as a platform is pick up and
Yeah.
play, pick up and use.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah. Now I'm going to mention that, and this has nothing to do with accessibility whatsoever. Now I do love the fact that Apple has great continuity.
The best.
I love that.
The best.
Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I could pick up my Mac and send a message to somebody.
And this applies to both
I could pick up my
iMessages
phone.
and text messages.
And text, yes. I could pick up my phone and send a text to somebody or an iMessage to somebody.
You know, Android
I
has
love
that.
that.
Android has that ability too with Google, but for that you would need third-party software. Even if you're on a Windows machine, you would need to download third-party software and go through a whole bunch of other steps that necessarily, if you have a Mac, you don't have to go through. If you have any device within the Apple ecosystem, you really don't need to do any of that because the software,
Correct.
quite frankly, is already there at your disposal, ready to use, ready to go,
Yes.
ready to party,
No,
ready to
it
text,
all-
ready to chat, ready to talk.
Every Apple device works in conjunction with each other, so it's not, as I
Right.
said before, they're all on the same platform, so to speak.
And
Right.
another
all,
thing that, yeah, it's great. I mean, and another thing that I love is this.
the continuity. Yeah.
Yes, Mo and I were talking about this the other day. Ness, you have mentioned this as well to us off the air, is the updating of the OS for iOS.
It's constant.
They get it on the same day.
Yes.
Everybody gets everything on the same day for the iOS. As for
Yeah.
Android, no, you have to wait till your
everything's spread
carrier
out.
has
Yeah.
it.
Right.
Which is retarded. I don't understand that at all. Yeah.
You know, every other, or I shouldn't say every other, but at this present moment, there are Android devices that are already on Pi.
Yeah, I was just
We're
gonna say that.
still, for those on Samsung, we still on Oreo.
Yeah.
And by the time Pi comes out for us, it'll be
You'll be on the next
6,
thing.
7, 8 months into the OS itself. And by the time it comes out, it's what? 4 or 5 months before the new update comes out for other Android users. And that's a problem with
Correct.
Samsung because it doesn't necessarily come out with stock Android. It's not exclusive to
Right.
Android because it also carries the Samsung Experience updates.
Right.
So with that,
There's just too much going on at once. Too much.
right.
Yeah.
So
Like, as Crystal, you just mentioned, the iOS, when they update, everyone with an Apple device gets the update. It's
Yes.
no one has to wait for their carrier. Because you shouldn't have to wait for your carrier. If this is an update being provided to you by the manufacturer, by the company who manufactures and makes the devices, that shouldn't have anything to do with the carrier.
correct.
Correct.
Because
Nothing.
those on iOS devices carry, no matter if you have if you paid your phone through your carrier or if you paid it out of the box, if it's unlocked, you're gonna get the update along with everybody else, same time, same day.
Yeah, regardless of what provider you're under, you're going to get it the same day, same time.
Yeah.
We just got an
Exactly.
update on the 17th of September. Everyone got that update. Everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Whether you're an iPad user, an iPhone user,
Whatever. Yep. iPad,
still-
iPhone, yeah.
you
got
still
it.
get it. Now,
Get the update.
another thing as well that I'd like to point out is
Mm-hmm.
the stability of this has nothing to do with accessibility, but the stability of the OSs. I have
Mm-hmm.
a friend who has an Android. I believe it's the 6 Edge, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
that's
that.
right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so her phone is now being very slow.
Here we go.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I had to switch back to an iPhone 5C.
Woo.
I'm on 10.3. I'm on iOS 10.3 right now, which is the last update that the iPhone 5C can get. This phone, I have no issue with it. Granted, there are some apps that are slow on it because it's an older phone, but not the whole UI itself is slow.
Yeah, but you got to take into accountability too, that her phone is a phone that came out yesteryear, so to speak. And
yeah,
they're not
yeah.
equipped with the same cores and the same processing units that now phones have acquired, which are better processors. They have better batteries, which will last. A phone now can last you anywhere between 3 to 4 years before you have to switch.
Right.
Tops, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
So that isn't
Okay, so
necessarily
that's how that works.
an Android situation. It's a situation, yes, but it's one that has been corrected by both parties. Even Apple,
Right.
you remember what happened last year. You know, they purposely would
Yep.
come out with stuff that would drain your battery so that you would have to A, pay them for another battery, or B, have to
Or a
upgrade
new
to
phone.
getting a new phone.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, either way,
Yeah.
it's a scam for making money.
Of course. Of course.
And people
'Cause
found out.
They want you to buy their phones.
Exactly. Now, going back to something that was discussed earlier, Ness, you have mentioned that
Yeah.
you're still learning the intricacies of Android. Now, what exactly are you still trying to cope with in terms of that OS?
Just some of the the gestures, trying to navigate through through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes, you know how sometimes when you're scrolling through stuff, it'll take you to somewhere else.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens to me when I browse.
Yeah, that happened to me too when I had my.
I'm like, hey! I didn't say go there. Hey.
Yeah, yeah. That's a bug.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if it's a bug at this point because it's been doing it for Lord
Quite
knows
a
how
while
long.
now. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the person that I spoke to at Google told me to say that.
Of course they
Sorry,
did.
sorry.
Of course, because they're getting paid by Google.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I know.
Hey,
I'm
listen,
just
if you're gonna pay me to BS people, I'll tell them whatever you want me to tell them.
For real.
No,
Oh, yeah.
it's
I
not
should-
a
I should
bug.
tell her that
it's
next
not
time.
a bug when it's something that has been in contention for, like I said, Lord knows for how long. Okay,
Hey,
and
listen,
I'm not saying that Apple
if you're
is
paying-
immune to this, but you know, there's also moments when, but it's not as sporadic and it's not as everyday
No,
as
no,
Android.
no.
Okay. I because Mo was like, please. I have a friend who works at Google, and he was like, can you please tell your friend about this keyboard situation because this is really getting on my nerves. So I said, okay.
It's a bug. It's a bug.
It-
Don't worry. We're gonna
So
fix
I
it.
told her, and so she talked to the, she forwarded the message to the keyboard department. She walks by there every day on her way to her job, and I haven't gotten anything back. But my point is this: you email Apple and you tell them, "Hey, I have a problem with, say, for example, I have a problem with your
VoiceOver is
keyboard.
crashing on said app.
Yes, it freezes.
Yep. Yeah.
A couple of months later,
More like
Done
two.
deal.
you get an update. Oh,
Yeah.
we fixed this for accessibility improvement.
Right. And in a lot of the
This
descriptions when
keyboard-
it comes to their updates,
tell
Apple
you.
makes sure
Yeah.
to
They'll tell you.
include, okay, accessibility
What the fixes
updates
are.
include as well. They don't
Blah,
just
blah,
leave
blah.
it at
Yes.
the phone's UI. They don't just leave it at security settings. They don't just leave it at
No.
things that...
No, they update everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. They update
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, as far as Android goes, they don't do that. I mean, this keyboard thing has been happening for a long time.
Forever.
Oh boy.
You know, Ness and
Yes.
I, we have a friend, and I remember one time we was all chilling, and you know, sometimes when you're chilling with friends, they're like, "Yo, man, can I see your phone?" For whatever reason, maybe they want to browse on YouTube or read something on Wikipedia or whatever. And I told him, "Yeah, you could use my phone." He was using my phone and all, and typing away, searching away, looking up things, So the other friend who was amongst us, he asked to use her phone because I mean, I guess he wanted to see how different it was, whatever. And now, mind you, this is somebody that has full vision, and he even stated, "Man, this keyboard is hard to type on."
He did.
Yeah.
Wow. Now,
And that's a
I have a
sighted person.
friend. I have a friend. She's sighted as well. Her experience is backward. She doesn't like typing on her iPhone keyboard, but yet she loves the Android keyboard. I don't understand it.
Huh. It's one of those. Yeah, it's
I
one of those
don't-
things where,
But
personal
with that
preference.
said,
You know.
But with
Yeah.
that said, most people prefer typing on an iOS keyboard.
On the iPhone, iOS,
On an iOS
yeah.
keyboard. I did not. When I had my Android tablet and my phone, I did not like typing on the keyboard. I'm using, as we speak, an iOS device right now. I'm using an iPad. And I could send a quick message to someone and not have a problem.
I
I
remember.
think Thunder agrees.
I remember I was on
Yeah.
the phone with who was I on the phone with? I believe I was on the phone with you, Ness, and I was typing with Crystal, and she's writing me back. Now, mind you, she's on the phone, and I'm like, you respond a lot quicker on your iOS device. Now, mind you, this is an iOS device, as she noted, that's old as bones, old as brittle.
Okay, it's not that old.
All right.
You're getting me back, aren't you?
It's so old, it was there for the Last Supper.
Oi! You know what? I'm gonna find me a new house. No, I'm playing.
But no, this is on a more or less dated phone because Apple ain't supporting it
Yeah.
anymore. Sorry to say, but nevertheless,
Even
how
still, she
magnificent,
was responding quicker.
how brilliant it is. She can still respond via text quicker than what she was on a up to date phone,
On a newer-
such as what she had.
Yeah.
Yes, I could not type for anything. Now, I'm not a dictation user by any means. I'm not. But I found myself using Google a lot when I was on my Android phone, and I did not like it. I didn't like.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the keyboard.
Yeah.
I didn't, and I thought, well, maybe if I can change the size of the keyboard, it would be better. Nope. Same thing.
And I thought it was just me. I'm like, oh, maybe it's just my phone.
That
Maybe
didn't
it's because
work.
I got a note. Maybe, but then noticing that it's happened with other people on the same Samsung/Android platform, I'm like, oh, it's not me then. It has something to do with the phone itself. And not to mention, I go back to the story with our friend, and he went through the same experience.
Same
And this
thing.
is somebody that doesn't use accessibility,
Yeah.
but he went through the same thing.
No.
And it's even on the tablets as well. On the Android tablets, because I had an LG. Okay, on the Android tablets as well, the
tablets
keyboard
too?
is the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the
Yes.
experience is more or less the same.
Jeez.
It's the same
gracious.
thing. And that's an LG tab that I had. I did not like it. So I found myself
boy.
going back to my iPad.
Now, again, Android's strong points are for those who do use dictation, for those who want to use commands such as, hey, Bixby, and that's another one. Bixby's such an awesome tool to use. Hey, Bixby,
Yes.
clean
yes.
my phone. It cleans your cache, all that unwanted junk. You can do different things that coordinate with system maintenance. Okay. You can copy and paste from folders on your computer. If you plug up your phone via USB or USB-C, you can transfer from one phone to another. It's even with iPhone, you can transfer things from your iPhone to your Android device, from a computer to an Android device, from a Mac to an Android device.
love that Switch app.
It's such a brilliant UI when it comes to that sort of stuff.
Oh,
when
yeah,
it
Smart
comes to-
Switch, yeah.
Yeah.
Smart Switch, yes.
Because basically
Yep.
what you're getting with
Thank you.
Android, you're getting a PC experience.
Yes.
It's really what it
Correct. That
is.
is correct, yeah.
You know,
Yep.
but because it's not as stable as it should be in some departments, and believe me, a keyboard is a department that to me weighs very, very heavily.
It does.
Because
And
I am
another
not a
thing-
dictation person.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I
either.
mean, granted, as clear as the dictation works, it's not really something that any of us here like to use.
No, because if
that
I'm
often.
out somewhere in
Correct.
public, first off,
Exactly.
I've always said, you know, to a certain extent, how you look, how you carry and present yourself matters. And I don't want to look like a crazy talking to my phone, telling it, hey, phone, do this in public.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's just not something
Yeah.
I feel. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
The extent to me using voice commands on phones when it comes to me being in public is, hey, call such and such.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
that's different than saying, I went out and picked up a pound of. I don't want people to know what the heck I've been doing.
Yeah, I'm not.
Ain't
I'm not
nobody
gonna
wanna
have
hear
a
you
whole
tell-
conversation with somebody.
You know, I want
Now,
to
if
know
I'm
that
gonna-
I could
if I'm
text
gonna
you.
send-
I want to
And-
know that I could text you. You know, discreetly. No one ain't got to know
Right.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
If
And
I'm
another-
gonna dictate a text, I'm gonna. It's gonna be brief. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't even bring myself
I
to
don't-
that.
I don't even like doing that either.
You got me beat
I
on
don't.
that.
I don't even like doing that.
You know, so I'd
You know,
rather.
I don't really like doing
for the
it. I
time
don't really
being-
like doing it either. But yeah.
For the time being, I'd rather struggle with the keyboard. Take 2 minutes to write one simple text that would more or less
Yeah.
take me 10 seconds on iPhone.
Yes. Now, going back to accessibility, I was having a really cool conversation with my colleague yesterday. And this gets on his nerves. And I told him that it could turn people off as well. Resetting your phone.
Yeah,
When you
go
reset
ahead.
your phone, when you reset your phone, if you're using Android, in this case Samsung, right? Voiceover. Oh my god, I was gonna say TalkBack. Oh my gosh,
Voice assist.
Voice assist.
Yeah, I was gonna go through all of them.
Keep talking. I'm gonna go get
Voice-
myself a water.
Go ahead. yeah.
Okay. Voice assist will not turn on automatically, and it's very
Oh, God, that's
hard.
annoying.
Yes, it is. And it's hard for someone who doesn't know how to turn it on their own to turn it on, to
Yeah.
turn on voice assist. Now,
Correct.
if you reset your iPhone, you can turn on voiceover yourself. Yeah, I got it right.
It comes on automatically, actually.
Yeah, it
If you
comes
have it-
on
if you have it-
automatically.
If you have
You're-
it set, if you have it set that way, it'll come on automatically.
It doesn't forget your
Correct.
settings.
If you do setting
Right.
resets, it'll reset your settings, but it won't reset what you have in terms of your voiceover settings. Voiceover
Correct.
will
Everything
stay
is fine.
toggled. But let's say in the event that it doesn't come on for whatever funny reason, because sometimes these things have a mind of their own.
Sometimes that does happen.
You can
yeah,
always
yeah.
triple click the home button, or for
The home
those
button,
who are on the
yeah.
new iPhones, you can triple click the side button, which is your lock button as well. You triple click that, and it'll turn voiceover on, or you can ask Siri to turn voiceover on for you.
Yes. There's multiple ways that you can turn
Thus
on voiceover.
eliminating
There is
needing sighted assistance.
right.
And if you
there is
have
not,
if you have a Samsung device and you use Voice Assist, you can actually go into your settings and set the shortcut so that, for some odd reason, it doesn't come on automatically. You could
Right.
You could just hit that shortcut.
But when you reset your settings, it eliminates that shortcut as well.
Oh, that sucks.
And you can't.
Yes,
and you can't.
it does.
You know how when you first get your phone, you do the 2-finger thing on the screen to turn
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
You don't have that option either because it doesn't revert you back to. Remember, you're just doing a settings reset, not factory reset.
Are you serious?
So it won't revert you back to yes. So you
need sighted assistance?
to turn, and you can do it with Bixby, but the problem with that is how are you gonna pull that off if you need to unlock your phone?
Oh,
It's a problem. Yeah.
oh, that's a problem. Oh,
Not only
You
that,
have to unlock
sometimes
your phone,
Bixby
yeah.
will turn on voice assist, And then other times it'll ask you, is this what you want? Which means you got to point and click at that. But how are you going to do that when you have no sight?
Yeah. And I was telling my colleague yesterday, that can turn a lot of people off. Because what if a lot of people don't know that?
Which most likely, that's a good point.
Which most likely you don't.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that can, like I said, that can turn off a lot of people.
Yes.
Well, for me, the biggest turnoff is this whole keyboard situation. And that's me personally, but I do get your point in terms of not having accessibility in terms of when you go back to reset your settings and all of a sudden, poof, it's like, hey, where'd my voice assist go? And having to wait on somebody. Hey man, can you tell me where go to settings and accessibility and turn on voice assist?
Yeah.
Who wants to go through that?
And what if you don't have? And what if you don't have anybody?
And it's not the worst thing in the world that could happen to. Yeah, but.
No, but it's just still kind of annoying.
It's still annoying.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
And listen, I used to be one of those people who would look at iPhone users or those who are, and I'm not talking about fanatics. I'm talking about straight thinking, level-headed people. Okay, I used to look at them and think they were crazy for saying things such as iPhone has changed my life. Now looking at it, I look at all these apps that are accessible, no pun, to one who is on iOS, and I'm solely focusing on iOS here. You have apps like a money reader, which is also on Android. They have their own version of a money reader, which works, and it works very well too. So I'll give Android all the points in the world for that. Yeah. But when it comes to scanners such as KNFB Reader, or when it comes to what's it called, Seeing AI.
Seeing
AI works similarly to KNFB Reader, to where you can scan documents, you can read things line for line, word for word. You point the phone at a piece of paper, or for me, it's worked with video gaming and reading through options. Okay.
I think that's so cool.
But when it comes to Android, KNFB Reader does work, but the UI experience is better on iOS. And they were supposed to release Seeing AI this year, last year.
For Android?
Yep.
Yes.
This year, last year, and
still nothing yet.
Where is it?
Still waiting.
Nowhere.
Still waiting.
Still waiting.
Wow, man. Still waiting. Huh.
So again, this goes back to something that Crystal said. When it comes to accessibility, when it comes to responding to people and their needs, I think Apple does it better.
They do. Yes, they do. That is, there's no denying that. Yeah.
This has nothing to do with accessibility, but I do want to talk about it because it gets on my nerves. And it gets on my nerves. Let's talk about mine and your favorite thing, video. For Android.
Oh boy.
And iOS.
Here's the crazy thing. I find my experience in terms of toggling through menus and all that, in terms of apps like Netflix, Hulu, WWE Network, and all that, I find the experience very pleasing on Android, because there are certain buttons that aren't labeled on iOS. But again, you can work with that, click, point, guess at it, and trial and error. That's fine. But the fact that Android gets that out of the way is a great thing. However, here's where it falls short, and it falls short in a department that I wish it wouldn't. When you're watching the video, obviously it goes into landscape mode, which means it does full screen. No problem with that. iPhone does the same thing too. However, if you want to use your sliders to go back or forth, if you want to go home, if you want to play or pause, those options for those who
Yeah.
are using accessibility, those options are hidden to you when your video is taking up the full screen aspect ratio, which then means you gotta play around with the phone, toggle here and there, tap on things, guess at it, till you finally see, there's my slider, there's my home button, and do what you need to do. Whereas on iPhone, it's available, or on iOS, should I better say, it's available.
It's
right
all there.
there.
Yeah, it's not hidden. No, it's available as you just said. Yeah.
And that annoys me.
You know.
It annoys me. It annoys me. It annoys me.
Luckily,
A
on
lot.
YouTube, it doesn't do that because YouTube gives you the option to watch things either landscape or portrait mode. But
Yep.
even still, I would like for the video experience to be a little bit better on Android. But these are issues
Yeah.
that they say they're gonna get fixed. They're gonna get fixed, and it seems like
They don't.
never get fixed.
They don't. And it's annoying.
It's a
and
bug.
that could.
It's a bug. We're
Yeah,
gonna fix
it's a
it.
bug.
And I think
It's
the
a
most
bug.
and I think the most annoying thing out of all this is the same thing which I found annoying about Apple last year in terms of their decisions that they were making. I got frustrated with Apple, not because I'm one of those who sit here and say Apple sucks or Android sucks or this platform sucks, or I'm not that type of person. I see things for what they are, and for what it was, Apple wasn't providing for me what I needed in terms of their phones, so I went and I made the switch to Android. In spite of the keyboard and all these other issues that I've noted, I'm still having a great time with it because it gives me what I need, it gets me through, and it does the damn thing when it needs to. However, with that said, what's annoying is the fact that I know what set companies are capable of, and they are both capable of doing so much more. And this even includes Apple. However, when we just focus on the accessibility aspect of things, that argument is more so for Android than Apple. When I say they can do so much more with Apple, I'm referring to things such as the hardware, okay, and things that they've chosen to eliminate or things that they've chosen not to include in the box, okay. But looking at it now,
Yeah, that was a deal breaker there. Yeah.
But looking at it now, and you, again, life is about trying new things, and either you fall and learn how to break your fall and get back up, right? So, for me, those minor inconveniences weigh a lot less than, say, a keyboard problem or a stay focused on what I want to read problem. And it's frustrating because I know, just as Apple, Android Google has the capability to improve these things. Samsung has the capability to improve these things. But they don't.
Absolutely.
Right.
But they don't, Now, as a UI, UI as a whole, Samsung is technologically way more advanced than iOS. Like I said, you could do maintenance on your phone. You can delete cache. You can tell Bixby to control your phone. Basically, you can control your whole entire phone through your voice.
Does that mean that that Samsung's device is made out of vibranium? For those who've seen Black Panther, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Good, very good, by the way.
Wow. Yeah.
Very good.
Wow.
By the way. But yeah, to me, those problems, because, okay, if I were to get an Apple device, I can buy that dongle, no problem. It's something I shouldn't have to do, but I have to if I want to use regular 3.5 mm for my listening experience, because I don't want to resort to wireless or Bluetooth.
No.
But okay, I buy that. I don't need to buy a fast charger, but then again, if I want my phone to charge as fast as I need it to in certain predicaments, I do need the fast charger. But okay, I could buy that.
Yeah.
You know. But it still doesn't take away the fact that I feel that these are things we shouldn't buy, and that's where Apple really falls short for me. But it's something that more or less, it comes down to the question of, what are you willing to deal with? Are you willing to deal with having to spend more money on accessories that Apple doesn't include versus dealing with a UI that for people who are visually impaired and blind works, but comes with a very steep learning curve and comes with a bit of frustration in terms of the keyboard for those who are touchscreen users, you know, because again, for those who are heavy on dictation and wanting to tell your phone to do this and do that, you're gonna have a ball with Android because it does so much more than iOS.
Oh yeah,
so much more.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you could tell it to play Google YouTube videos. You could tell it to play anything, and it does it. You could tell it to turn off your phone even, and it does it.
You can tell it to play YouTube videos? Really?
Yeah, it plays
Yeah.
YouTube videos for you.
It's a place
Both
YouTube
Google,
videos.
both Google and Bixby. Now,
And Bixby do it.
unfortunately, where it falls short is toggling your voice assist on or off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Now that's my sum up of it. I don't know. Crystal might have a different approach, and Ness might have a different thought process as well. So I'm gonna give them the floor now.
No, I
Now
I completely agree with
I do
you.
agree with the inconvenience of the having to pay extra for the accessories that I believe should already come with your purchase. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So I'm not that's one thing that was a deal breaker for me as far as the new Apple phones. Because, you know, when I first heard of the changes, I'm like, okay. I wasn't like too outraged by it, but at the same time I said, okay, I can adjust. But then I found out that you had to pay extra for the accessories. I'm like, nah, not doing that.
Oh, but you
Not
can get
doing
them
that.
for cheap on Amazon. Yeah, but you're missing the point.
Okay, you can, which for people like me, okay, that's a plus. I could get around it that way.
That'd be
but-
like, that's like going to McDonald's and buying a cheeseburger and having to pay for the condiments, pay extra for the condiments. Like what?
50 cents for ketchup.
But you know, here's the thing.
No.
Here's the point I want to make, though. You know, it's one thing for me to say, I'm going to go on Amazon and I'm going to pay extra for this. Matter of fact, I'm going to pay extra, but a lot less than I would pay directly with Apple or with any other seller. Okay, because on Amazon you find great deals on there for fast chargers,
You do.
for
Yeah.
dongles
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Hell, if anything, you're spending $30 tops. Okay,
Sup,
for
case?
everything
Yeah.
you'll need, which is fine. It's fine. It's perfectly fine.
Even
But how
cases for
many-
your phone.
But
Sup,
how many
case?
people really know how to look for deals?
They don't. A lot of people don't. For example, my best friend, right? She went to, I was going to say Verizon, but she went to the Sprint store. I'm all over the place
man.
today. Yeah, I know.
I see.
I know. I know.
Dr. Pepper got you going in circles, huh?
Apparently. Shout out to Dr. Pepper.
What's in that Dr. Pepper?
Caffeine.
Scissor.
Anyways.
No? Yeah.
No, not scissor. Not some scissor. Anyway, I digress. So, my
ahead.
best friend went to the Sprint store. I had a bad experience with Sprint. That's neither here nor there.
Boy.
My best friend went to the Sprint store. She spent $60 on a case for her phone. A wallet case that she didn't even
A
need
case?
because she had an OtterBox case
Again, my point
that
is
she
that
spent
A
$80
case?
at the Sprint store for
Again,
just like 3 weeks before she got the other case.
again, my point is that not that many people, and maybe it's not a matter of not that many people know how to look for deals or know how to look for bargains. Maybe it's more so, yeah, you know what? I'll change my stance. It's more so people aren't that patient.
Right.
No,
That's what-
they
yeah.
are not. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Because she's visually impaired. So she says, yeah, but I like to look at this stuff before I buy it.
Oh, okay.
But you're still spending $60? Why don't you just go look at the case, see if you like it, find out what brand it is, and then go to Amazon and search for it?
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But again, patience. Not a lot of people would be patient to... Me, I would. Besides, I got 2-day shipping.
I would too.
I got Amazon Prime.
Hey, hello.
Just saying. But
Yeah.
You find great bargains. You find great bargains on Amazon. So I don't see why you wouldn't want to be patient. I don't understand.
Exactly.
Makes no sense.
I told her, I said, if you want a wallet case, you can get a wallet case for $20.
Thank you.
A good wallet case that I found.
$60
for that phone.
For a
yes.
phone case.
Oh, but I could put it on my bill.
Why would you want to do that?
Why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to add to your bill when you don't need to?
Exactly.
That's an unnecessary expense.
No.
I know. I know.
That's an unnecessary expense.
I know. I bought... Well, actually, I didn't. Somebody bought me a case for my Galaxy S8 phone.
Mm-hmm.
$20 on Amazon. Retail price?
There you go.
They go for $60 to $80.
There you go.
Retail price.
You just save. They just
Retail
save
price.
$40 to $60.
Yes.
One of those 2-in-1
Wow,
deals where you
man.
could plug your phone and listen to music at the same time. You could get those for $10 on
$10.
Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
You buy it elsewhere, you're spending a good $30-$40 for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's doable.
But
it's something that...
Yeah.
Is it a matter of, do I want to contend and buy these extra accessories,
Exactly. Yeah.
or do I not?
That's what it comes down to. Yeah.
I chose not to. And it's fine. I'm okay with that. However,
Yeah.
it now comes down to this. The question is, for how long am I personally willing to contend with this keyboard situation?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I still haven't gotten
driving
any
me
answer, by the
insane.
way. I
Hold on,
still
wait,
haven't.
Wait, I'm gonna send them a
it's-
sternly
it's-
written email. Hold on. Here we go. There we go.
Bro, you meant
Undo.
E, not R. Let's change
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh,
No, E. It gave you a W.
come
No,
on!
it gave you a D.
Stupid keyboard.
No.
Yeah. I'm gonna throw. Ah.
No,
There we go.
no,
Okay.
not an. Okay.
No,
now,
I give you an
now
A.
I got it.
There we go.
got it.
There we go. Sheesh.
No, it was just
Stupid
like
thing,
that
yeah.
for me and for my just like that for me and my colleague. Just like that. When on my iPad or my iPhone, I could just grab it, and all of a sudden, all you hear is. I don't know if you
But
guys
you know what
hear
it
that or
is
not.
too.
No, I
But-
get
It's
it.
also the.
Okay. But
It's also you have the rapid keep input feature, which makes the letters super sensitive too.
Here's
yeah.
speaking of rapid. Here's one thing. When it comes to deleting things, I can just hold down the delete key on iOS.
Yes. Yeah. You can't do
With
that on your Android.
Delete.
E,
Delete.
A,
Delete.
D,
Delete.
B,
Delete.
C,
Delete.
E, G.
Okay, finally deleted everything. Okay, here we go.
That is highly annoying. Yes, very
And
much.
I thought it was
so.
just me.
Good God! No,
I thought it was
it's not
just
just
me.
you. No,
No, I figured
that's
that
happened
out.
to
I'm
me
like,
before
oh.
too. Yeah.
Now, all this
Yeah.
said, and gathering all this information, we've made a really good case. We've made a really good case for iOS here.
We really did. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think is funny. I mean,
It really is, considering But again, we're not here to BS because we've used both platforms and we're telling you guys what it is given our experiences.
Right. Right.
Again, if you guys are dictation heavy people, if you are people who like dealing with technology, like customizing, like doing all these other tech savvy things, then yeah, get an Android all the way. Definitely. But if you're someone that likes stability, if you're someone that likes things to be simple, ready to use out of the box, definitely go with iOS. It's definitely the way to go in terms of that. All that said, though, look, it all comes down to what do you need?
Personal preference.
What are you willing to
what do you
deal
feel
with?
comfortable with?
What are you willing to sacrifice? I guess What are you willing to do without?
What are you willing to take a knee for, huh? Huh?
Yeah. Yes. Pretty much.
What are you willing to burn?
Let it burn. Let it burn.
Let it burn. Let it burn.
Yeah.
All right, Ursher.
Yeah. But yeah. What are you willing to sacrifice? That's willing
to pay
the question.
Are you willing to pay the extra money for the accessories that should already be included, or are you willing to deal with the keyboard issues that comes with Android?
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Or are you willing to, if you're a heavy YouTube user or a heavy Netflix user or anything, any type of video user, are you willing to sacrifice? Okay, where are the sliders on this thing?
Right. Right.
Or not?
Yep. There you go. There we have it.
Are you willing to, when you reset your Android phone, are you willing to ask somebody for help? Or
exactly.
Not?
All depends.
Or do you even
personal
have that
preference,
ability? I
ultimately,
should say. It's just personal preference, and it's like it's like
That's
Mo
all there is
said,
to
and I
it,
said, and Ness said. What do you need right now at the moment? What do you need?
Again, from a technological standpoint, Android is the best. Samsung is the best. But again, if you want something that's smooth, like sliding a knife through butter, hot butter, get iOS.
Yeah.
So,
But if you want vibranium, get Android.
That's great.
That's right.
That's
Good
great.
stuff, by the way.
it is.
Yeah.
I keep thinking that I'm forgetting to mention something, but maybe not. Maybe it's my own brain.
Maybe it's
Probably,
your own brain.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't think
Yeah?
you've missed anything here. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you missed anything.
No.
Have we
I mean,
covered
we covered
everything?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Are you sure?
We have, yeah.
Okay.
Oh wait, one more
Yeah?
thing,
Go ahead.
One more thing? Go ahead.
and it goes back to the sliders. I'm a heavy Audible user. For those of you who don't know what Audible is, it's basically you can download audiobooks for a fee. When I was using Android, I could not for the life of me figure out
I remember. Go
what's
ahead.
called the speed slider, where you could change the speed of the book. With iOS, I could do that. No problem.
I remember what I was gonna say. I almost did leave something out. When it comes to compatibility with hearing aids or Braille compatibility, that's another feature that iOS takes care of better than Android. Because
yeah, they do. They have something for everybody.
Because I was looking at a video, I forgot what YouTube channel it was, but they were comparing iOS to Android. Now, this wasn't anything in terms of the realm of accessibility, but
Just in general,
I was reading, in general. And I was reading down the comment section, and somebody with a hearing impairment happened to comment, and they said, whereas Android is the much better platform in terms of what it can and can't do, how it's not limited by just the platform that is Android. You can it's very flexible, as we've noted plenty times here on this podcast. I personally use iOS because although Android has hearing aid support, iOS is more compatible with a broader amount of devices.
Correct.
That is
and
correct.
And this also
yeah.
applies with Braille users.
Yes. We have a dear friend. Shout out to John.
What up?
What's up, John?
What up? We have a dear friend who uses a Braille display for iOS.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said if the Braille support was way better on the Android, just like it is for iOS, he would go for it. No questions asked.
It's like we said. What do you prefer? What do you need? What are you comfortable with?
Now, if you are not a Braille user, such as Mo, myself, or Ness, and you're
Braille
cool
isn't
with
something that you look at.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. Yeah.
But damn, I need my keyboard.
I know.
I hear you, man. I hear you.
I'm working on it. I'm actually going to try to email the actual keyboard department myself.
It's a
I'm gonna do
bug.
some
We're
research.
gonna fix it.
Yeah.
Ugh, why you sound all creepy like that?
Well, I'll say this.
You sounded all creepy.
I know, right?
Ah.
I'll say this.
It's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah. Shoot.
I hope that the keyboard situation does get fixed.
Me too.
I really do. You know.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And something else that I want to focus on is when you're looking at what phone you need, look at, as opposed to looking at what features the phone has, as opposed to looking at, oh, this phone delivers stereo audio, oh, this phone delivers 1080p or 1480p for those who have vision. Instead of focusing on, I'll even say, it's customizable, before you focus on, oh, this UI is easy out of the box, ready to use, I'm looking at you, Apple, focus on what features do I really need in a phone. For me, it narrows down to keyboard usability, browsing, experiences watching video, because I use YouTube on a heavy, experiences with accessibility in itself, and obviously the UI experience. Which one of those for me fills in the gap better? That's what I look at.
Yeah, same here.
And
Now,
in some instances, Android will do certain things better than Apple, but then within the same context of things, it'll fall short. Like, for example, with the video. I'm able to browse WWE Network, Netflix, all of that, no problem. But when it comes to the video part in itself, with iOS,
where are my sliders?
the UI could be a little better in terms of WWE Network, for example, but it works. Once you figure things out, all bets off. You get to that video player, and the sliders are there. You could go to your home screen. You could. It's all just there. It's all just there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No. So, what are you willing to deal with?
That's all it boils down to at the end of the day. What are you willing to deal with? Like, yeah.
What about you, Crystal?
Personal preference.
What about you, Crystal? What from your personal experience, what would you tell those people out there?
Well, the keyboard, basically everything that you said, including the video, because I do watch a lot of video. My Spectrum app is my friend, and I'm not, for the moment, I'm not willing to sacrifice my keyboard or my video experience or my book listening experience at the moment.
Again, this goes with, think about what you need versus getting caught up in the glamour of customized versus non-customizable, picture resolution versus, lack thereof, picture resolution, audio experience versus, whatever.
Yeah. And I always hear this. Oh, the speakers on this phone are really good, but the speaker on this phone isn't that great. To me, that's not important.
No, that's very trivial, if anything. I mean,
it is.
Yeah,
it is. I could care less.
That's the least of it, really. I mean,
now,
it is.
You're concerned about speakers?
said, Steve Jobs said, when it comes to resolution, yes, I'm not gonna quote it word for word because I don't know, but basically what it is this, to paraphrase. If you take a phone which gives you 4K display or 1080p display, the further away that you have your phone from your face, the more the visual starts looking like a standard phone.
Yes.
Okay. You notice the differences when you're up close, but once you start pulling away, all that just becomes a visual concept. It doesn't become a spectacular visual concept. Okay.
Which makes perfect sense.
Out of the window. So, rather you have a phone that displays things in 720p, 1080p, 1480p. It makes no difference, really. Because who's really going to hold up their phone up to their face?
Yeah, really.
All these, folks, are just selling points to captivate you, to make you want to get that system. Okay? That's all it is. But is it something you really need? Is it something that's crucial to, say, texting, calling somebody, trying to find some information on a browser?
Yep.
Which handles it better, in your personal opinion? And maybe what I've said here in terms of perhaps favoring iOS, maybe your experience with Android has been different than mine. But I'm willing to bet.
Let us know.
But I'm willing to bet that most people would agree with our assessment.
Yeah, let us know what your experiences have been and what you prefer and what you don't prefer and what you like and don't like. Don't be afraid to let us know about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm curious. And also, another thing is this. I have an older iPhone, and I talk and I text on it. And check email. But that's it. That's all that I do on my phone.
We were having this conversation too, and I don't mean to cut you off, but before I forget, Crystal was telling me, well, I have both. I would get Android, and I would be on both Android and iOS in terms of a tablet, and she's like, what I can't do on my phone, I do on my tablet. And I brought her the argument of, well, what if you're resting comfortably, you don't feel like reaching out for your tablet, or you don't feel like managing a big screen like that at the moment?
Right.
You like everything to be compacted in one unit.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what I do miss. That's what I miss.
Exactly.
If I want to look at YouTube or something on my phone, or if I want to do some shopping while I'm resting comfortably in my bedroom, And I don't feel like getting my tablet, because my tablet is what I watch TV on. And it's on my nightstand. What if I don't want to do that? That's what I miss.
Correct.
I miss that as well.
So,
But because I have an older phone, I choose not to do any of that.
and one thing I also want to stress.
There you go. Yeah.
One thing I also want to stress, and this comes, this really comes with everything in terms of telephones, cable company that you choose to subscribe to, console that you choose to play on. Don't let anybody point, mock, and ridicule you just because you favor what you favor. And don't make fun of
Yeah.
those who favor what you don't.
Right. Because that's that.
I prefer
to each their
PS4.
own.
I
To
prefer
each their own.
PS4.
Yeah.
But I have an Xbox. I don't abandon my Xbox. I have a lot of games on Xbox. I just like PS4 a little more for various reasons, but it doesn't mean I despise my Xbox. You know. I have a Mac.
have
I don't
an
have Windows
Amazon-
at all, but I have Windows installed on my Mac. But I prefer doing things on the OS X side of things because I just find it better. But that's my personal experience. That's my personal opinion. And who are you to tell me, oh, bro, you suck because blah, blah, blah. Really?
Yeah.
Don't let people sway you.
It's everybody's personal opinion.
Yeah, whatever
Now for
whatever works for you, stick to it. That's all. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it. You
Now,
don't have to.
I have
Yeah.
I have an Amazon streaming device and an Apple
Mm-hmm.
TV. I prefer Apple TV because it's smoother. The UI is a lot better. But if somebody wants an Amazon Fire TV stick because of the price, whatever.
That's fine too. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
That is totally okay. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Don't let anybody
To each their own.
Yeah, don't let anybody tell you otherwise.
Exactly. I agree with that.
There you go. Yeah.
Um,
That's that.
I think we've squozen all the juice out of this.
I'm sorry, I like it when you say the
Yep.
word squozen. That just it's
I
We
did.
really
We did.
I've
man.
I got to
We
get
did.
to a New Japan event. I had to catch up with it.
Woo, woo.
So you guys are no longer important to me. No, you are. I urge you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, tell them to subscribe, share
course,
us
of
on
course.
the
Tell
Twitter,
everybody.
on the Facebook. Social media is right there, folks. It's important. It's vital to the cause. Your comments are vital to the cause. Your viewership. Share us, like I said before. And remember, guys, in everything you do, you know what? I'm going to let my colleagues finish that one off for me.
and
And
everything,
everything you do,
put
put
God,
God
first.
first.
Very good.
Hold on, wait a minute. Remember, folks, tomorrow we'll be back with the Crime Syndicate, part 2 of our series, coming tomorrow.
Yes.
Stay tuned for that. And of course, Thursday, Sports Vista. You guys already know.
Woo whoop.
The barber shop will be open again.
Whoop whoop.
Woo!
With
On that
said,
note, folks. Go ahead.
Again.
Wait. Can we get a shuffle?
Oh, no, no
A
shuffle.
shuffle to take us out?
A shuffle, take us out.
No shuffle.
No, no.
No.
Oh, okay.
With
Okay.
that said,
All
folks, remember, once again, keep God number one in your life. Stay tuned. Make sure to tune in tomorrow and Thursday. We will all be in the building. With that said, folks. See ya! And have a nice day. Yep.